In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent, may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on all of us. Assalamu alaikum students. Now today I will continue the unit number 7, Communication in Chemistry, Symbols, Formulae and Equations. In this chapter you learned about the symbols, formulae, radicals and valency. Now today I will explain you equations. What is equation? It is shorthand method of describing, or you can say expressing, the chemical reaction in terms of symbols and formulae of the substances involved in a chemical reaction. Now see the chemical equations. When carbon dioxide is react with water, glucose and oxygen are formed. This reaction is known as chemical reaction. And in this chemical equations, carbon dioxide and water are reactants. What is reactants? Substances which are present before the chemical reaction. Or you can say the starting substances are called reactants and are always written on the left hand side. And in this chemical equations, glucose and oxygen are products. What is products? Substances that result from the chemical reaction. Or you can say substances which are produced are known as product and are always written on the right hand side. The numbers in front of the formulas in a chemical equation are called coefficient. For example, in this equation 6CO2, 6 is a coefficient, or you can say it shows the number of molecules, right? The numbers in front of the formulas in a chemical equation are called coefficient. And 6CO2, 2 is a subscript, or it shows the number of atoms. जो नंबर स्टार्टिंग में मेंशन होता है, फॉर्मूले के फ्रंट पर मेंशन होता है, उसे कोफिशिएंट कहते हैं, और वो नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स होते हैं. और कुछ नंबर सबस्क्रिप्ट होते हैं जो फॉर्मूले के नीचे गिवन होते हैं, और वो नंबर ऑफ एटम्स शो कर रहे होते हैं. And the expressions G, L and S placed sometimes as subscript after the formulas of the reactants and products. And it shows the state of matter, right? S for solid, F for liquid and G for gases. Have you got it? Now see the next equation. When glucose is react with oxygen, carbon dioxide and water is formed. In this equation, glucose and oxygens are reactants and carbon dioxide and water are products. What is reactant? Substances which are present before the chemical reaction. And what is product? Substances that result from the chemical reaction. And in this equations, it shows the coefficient and subscript. See the coefficient and subscript. Have you got it? Okay. Now let's talk about how to balance the equations. Now first see the equation Hg plus O2 HGO is formed. or you can say when mercury is react with oxygen, mercuric oxide is formed. In this equation, mercury and oxygen are reactants, right? And HgO or mercuric oxide is a product. अब इस इक्वेशन को हमें बैलेंस करना है. जितना मास रिएक्टेंट में होता है उतना ही मास प्रोडक्ट में होना चाहिए. रिएक्टेंट में मरकरी देखें आप 1 है और प्रोडक्ट में भी 1 है. इट मीन्स के मरकरी बैलेंस है. रिएक्टेंट में ऑक्सीजन 2 है और प्रोडक्ट में 1 है. इट मीन्स के हमें ऑक्सीजन बैलेंस करना है और प्रोडक्ट में हमें ऑक्सीजन बैलेंस करना है. रिएक्टेंट में 2 ऑक्सीजन है. इट मीन्स हमें प्रोडक्ट में ऑक्सीजन की जो वैल्यू है वो 2 मेंशन करना होगी. एंड वी कैन चेंज द कोफिशिएंट द नंबर इन फ्रंट ऑफ द फार्मूलाज. जब भी केमिकल इक्वेशन बैलेंस करते हैं हमेशा कोफिशिएंट नंबर को चेंज करते हैं हम, राइट, बट नॉट सबस्क्रिप्ट. सबस्क्रिप्ट चेंज नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि फार्मूला चेंज हो जाएगा. हमें मास बैलेंस करना है रिएक्टेंट में और प्रोडक्ट में. अब इस इक्वेशन में ऑक्सीजन बैलेंस नहीं है. ऑक्सीजन कितने होने चाहिए थे 2. तो अब आप इक्वेशन में 2 मेंशन कर देंगे प्रोडक्ट में, लाइक दिस, राइट. अब स्टार्टिंग से हमें दोबारा देखना है. रिएक्टेंट में मरकरी 1 है और प्रोडक्ट में 2. ऑक्सीजन रिएक्टेंट में 2 है और प्रोडक्ट में 2. इट मीन्स कि अब ऑक्सीजन तो बैलेंस है बट मरकरी बैलेंस नहीं है. तो हमें अब रिएक्टेंट में मरकरी के आगे 2 मेंशन कर देंगे तो फिर ये इक्वेशन बैलेंस हो जाएगी, लाइक दिस, राइट. रिएक्टेंट में मरकरी 2 है, प्रोडक्ट में भी 2 है, ऑक्सीजन 2 है और प्रोडक्ट में भी ऑक्सीजन 2 है. इट मीन्स के अब ये इक्वेशन बैलेंस है. इक्वेशन बैलेंस करने के लिए हमेशा याद रखें कोफिशिएंट चेंज करते हैं हमेशा. वो कोफिशिएंट 2 भी हो सकता है, 3 भी, 4, 5, 6, जितनी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है हम वो नंबर मेंशन करते हैं. इसी तरह से सारी इक्वेशंस को बैलेंस करते हैं, राइट. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट एनर्जी चेंजेस. It is a characteristic of chemical reactions. And during the reaction, energy is the form of heat may be released or absorbed. So there are following 2 types of chemical reaction. The first one is exothermic reactions. What is the meaning of exothermic reaction? Exo means outside and therm means heat. It means that exothermic reaction are the chemical changes during which heat is released. To show the release of energy plus heat is written on the right hand side of the equations. And the next reaction is endothermic reaction. Endo means within and therm means heat. So endothermic reactions are the chemical changes in which heat is absorbed. And to show the absorption of heat, either plus heat is written on the left hand side or minus heat is written on the right hand side of the equation. One by one I will explain you. The first one is exothermic reactions. Reactions in which heat is given out along with the product are called exothermic reaction. For example, burning of coal. Carbon is react with oxygen, carbon dioxide is formed. and heat is released out. Have you got it? And all burning reactions are exothermic. Now the next reaction is endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction are the chemical changes in which heat is absorbed, or you can say reaction in which heat is absorbed, right? When carbon and sulfur are heated, they react to form carbon disulfide. Heat is absorbed in the reaction, right? Have you got my point? Now home task. Long question. Question number 14, balance the equations. क्वेश्चन नंबर 14 में कुछ इक्वेशंस गिवन है, आपको उसे बैलेंस करना है, राइट. क्वेश्चन नंबर 15, with the help of examples distinguish between endothermic reactions and exothermic reactions. This is enough for today, and I will continue the unit in next class. Take care. Allah Hafiz.